Okay, so here is a chess situation which is given below, given on the diagram, sorry, on the top. And the question is, can white mate in one move? The question is here, can white mate it one move? And there are two options, which is yes or no. If yes, draw an arrow, which is written here, to show white's mating move. So considering that we will play with these white pieces, which are at the bottom, all of these pieces, and this is white's next move. Is it possible then for white to make one move, the next move, such that it is a checkmate? Checkmate on the black king here, on the top, here, right? And if such a move is possible, then we have to draw an arrow showing which piece we move, which of the white piece, there are a lot of them, which piece we move and where we move it. So to analyze this, let's go back to the same setup that we have created below in this port editor below. So let's quickly see, here is the black king, right? Here is the black king. And let's notice something about this black king, that it is pretty much covered from most of the sides from these black pieces, and this line seems to be open. This line seems to be open to attack this black piece, right? The only piece that can jump over blockages is a knight. So white knights, which are here, one is here and the second one is here, it's not possible for them to be able to attack the black king here by moving by moving in its vicinity, because these are really far away right now. So one move would not do. One not would not take them from here, these white knights, close to the vicinity of black king here, right? That's not going to be possible. So knights cannot come in and jump over these blockages to put the king under attack. So we will have to utilize an open line of attack, which is this one, right? The king can be attacked either in the same row like this one, or in the same column by like this one, or in the diagonal lines that are going through this particular square that the king is in. So only one of them is open, which is this direction. So we know that to attack the king, it has to be from this direction. So how can we now think about moving white pieces into this direction? And in this direction, there are three squares. One is this, another one is this, and then the third one is this, right? So how can we move white pieces to one of these squares to open a check and possibly a checkmate on the black king, right? So let us figure out. None of the white pawns is in a position to move to these squares, right? White pawns are here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They are all free to move, but they can only move by one step, and that too in a particular specific direction, which is straight up. So none of the white pieces is next to these squares, so the pawns cannot come in any of these squares. So no possible ways for any of the pawns to attack the king here, right? Similarly, for other white pieces to come in to this line of attack, right? There are other ways to attack the black king other than this line, right? Which is to kill in its neighborhood. If a white piece can capture this particular black pawn, or the pawn next to it, or this particular black bishop, and then there are chances to attack the king from here, right? going directly to kill the queen is does not seem like a possibility, so we are restricting ourselves to killing these to attack the black king. So if any white piece can capture this black pawn or this black pawn or this black bishop, and then it has a valid move to this square from all of these positions, then we say that black king can be put under check from these positions as well. Otherwise we have to utilize this line of attack. So we saw that none of the pawns can create the attack. What about other pieces? We saw that with the knights it's also not possible. Rooks are blocked. The rooks cannot move at all. So rooks and knights and pawns cannot create the attack. Other pieces left are these bishops. One is here and the other one is here. One queen which is here and the king himself. And since white king and black king are really far away, and the possible line of attack is actually far away from the white king, it does not look like we can move this king to attack the black king here, right? King is not then a possible candidate to create checkmate on this black king. So remaining piece is queen or either of the bishops. And since this black king is on a white square, the only bishop that is a potential candidate to attack this is the white bishop which is on a white square. So this particular white bishop is on a black square. So it cannot create the check on the black king because this king is on a white square. So only other candidate bishop candidate is this one. And we see that for this bishop candidate to come into this line of attack, right, which we already figured out, is not gonna be a possibility because bishop is only free to move in this direction in the next move and not towards this line of attack. It is blocked and it does not have a direct connection to this anyway, any of these squares. So this bishop is not then gonna be able to create a check. So only left potential candidate is the queen. So this queen is the only white piece which actually is in a position to create an attack on this king here. And this queen, like as we already saw that to create the attack on the black king, either utilize this line of attack or capture its neighboring pieces, which is this black pawn, and this black bishop. And we see from the position that white queen is in, capturing any of those three black pieces is not possible in the next move because either it does not have direct accessibility to those pieces or its line is blocked. For this black pawn, the line is blocked by this white pawn, and this black pawn is not under line of movement. So the white queen cannot even reach to this square in the next move, and same is the case for the black bishop in this square. So white queen cannot kill to attack the king here. It can only come in this line of attack. And we see that for the white queen, this particular diagonal move all the way up to this square, it will put the white queen in a position where the line of attack from the queen to king is open and the king is under check. So the only possible for any of the white pieces is to utilize this queen, move it all the way diagonally up to this square, then to open this check on the white king, right? So that is the only check move available to this white piece. Now, is this attack something that can be neutralized by the black team? The can the black team kill this queen here and save the king from attack? Is it possible to kill this queen? We see this that this square that the white queen is in is not protected by any of the white pieces. No white piece is protecting it right now. And we also see that this queen here is not under a direct attack from any of the black piece, right? This rook is blocked. This knight cannot reach here. This bishop cannot reach. Anyway, bishop is on a black square and the queen is on a white square. So this bishop cannot kill. All of these pieces, which is queen, bishop, knight, and rook here, these four pieces are blocked. Pawns can only move in the direction straight ahead. So, and none of the pawn can is in a position to capture this white queen. So, and king himself is really far away from the queen. So black king cannot move to kill the queen. So none of the black pieces here are in a position to kill this white queen. So attack cannot be neutralized by killing it. Then what are the other ways? Can we see that there are empty square, these two empty square? Is there a chance that any black piece can come on these squares and block this attack from queen to white queen to the king? So we observe that no black piece can come on these two squares, right? Only king can move to come to this square like this, but then it still remains in the line of attack from the queen. So that's not a legal move for the king. No other black piece can come on this square nor on this square. So these two empty squares cannot be blocked. So only possible way, third way to try is to move the king such that it moves away from the line of attack. It moves out of the attack. And we see that this king is blocked to move in 4 dimensions. Like it cannot go towards left, it cannot go down like this in these two squares, and it cannot go towards the right. The only possible free square for this king to go is this one, which is itself under still attack, right? So the king cannot move out of this, flee out of this attack. So there is no possible way to save the king now, right? Because the queen cannot be killed, no possible blocks, king cannot flee. So this actually is a checkmating move, right? So we saw that how the black only has one possible move to create a check, and we figured out that that one move is actually a checkmate move, right? So my if I have to mark my answer in the question above, can white mate in one move? I would mark is at option number 1, yes, and not as option number 2. Option number 1 is my answer. And the arrow, if I have to draw, it would be to move this white queen on the diagram all the way up diagonally here and to reach this square. So it puts the king under check here and the king is checkmated. Let's quickly check the answer. It says yes, and it shows the same move that we also figured out. Black foolishly weakened his king's defenses. This game took 3 moves. So basically, yes, this is a game setup which is very early in the starting of the game, and we saw how one move created the checkmate. Thank you.